Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I will discuss on a topic on basic of DNS. So let's continue. We all know DNS stands for domain name system, right? Which is a hierarchical decentralized naming system for computers, services or any resources connected to the internet or a private network. DNS, I want to say something. Here is an example. You can just go through it. Okay. And next, I want to say about DNS is a critical component of the internet and is essential for the smooth functioning of web browsing, email, file transfer, and other online services. Without DNS, users would have to memorize numerical IP addresses to access websites and other online resources, which would be inconvenient and impractical. DNS is also used by cyber criminals for various malicious activities such as DNS spoofing, DNS hijacking, and DNS amplification attacks. Therefore, it is important for the cybersecurity professionals to understand how DNS works and to implement appropriate security measures to protect against DNS related threats. So some of the students they asked topic is important or not, so you can now understand, so you can know how much this is important for us in this field. Next, basically there are four types of DNS. One is DNS recursor, another one root name server, TLD name server, authoritative name server, right? So discuss about this DNS recursor. Suppose you can thought of as librarian who is asked to go find a particular book somewhere in a library, right? The DNS recursor is a server designed to receive queries from client machines through applicants such as a web browser. Typically, the recursor is then possible for making additional requests in order to satisfy the client's DNS entry. So next, we are going to discuss about root name server. The root server is the first step in translating human readable host names in a library that points to different track of books. Typically, it serves as a reference to other more specific locations. Next, TLD name servers. The top level domain server means the TLD can be thought of as a specific rock of books in a library. This name server is the next step in the search for a specific IP address, and it hosts the last portion of a host name. Like suppose google.com. The TLD server is com, and the very last authoritative name server. This final name server can be thought of as a dictionary on a rack of books, in which a specific name can be translated into its definition. The authoritative name server is the last stop in the name server's query. If the authoritative name server has access to the request record, it will return the IP addresses for the request hostname back to the DNS recursor. Means here in the example the librarian, okay, that made the initial request. There is another also a DNS, you see, non-authoritative DNS server. What are they? Non-authoritative DNS server are DNS server that are not operated by the authority DNS server for a domain name. Okay, so it's all about DNS. So you can find a lot of things like this from. You can also have a lot of knowledge in this about DNS. So I have just shared a little bit with you peoples. So thank you. Next we will come very soon with a new interesting topic.